So I'm gonna be completely honest. Before this week, I had not filmed, edited, or posted anything in over a month. I just thought about it and built up a lot of anxiety towards it and shut down. And I knew this was gonna happen eventually, I just didn't think it was gonna happen this soon. But I swore to myself that I was gonna post my first video, which I did do a few days ago. So if you haven't watched that one, go watch that one. Something that I realized that I did not put in my first video was really explaining what this journey was going to be like. If you're looking for someone that's going to wake up at 5 a.m. and start running every single morning, build a business 24/7, cut out sugar, gluten, processed food, and go completely vegan, or anything like that, and do a complete 180 overnight, you're in the wrong place. I've tried that, it didn't work, so I need to do a completely different approach. I read a book called The Mountain Is You, and if you haven't read it, I really would recommend reading it, but it helped me put things into categories and create tangible steps and how to start. One of the things that it wanted everyone to do was write down everything that you disliked about your life, which I did, and it was very hard, of course. And I have the list in my journal. I'm not gonna read it because I kind of want to keep it personal to myself right now. And I'm not going to put it on display. I'm not gonna post it, and I'm not really gonna use this as my focus point for where to go in my journey. For example, I guess like one of the things on my list is I feel like my body isn't as strong as it used to be. I feel kind of weak. I don't necessarily like how my body looks right now, but I don't want to use that as something that I have to go after and I have to work out because of vanity purposes. When I do decide to work out and I add that into my healing journey, I want it to be because I want to feel healthy and stronger, and I'm doing it for my mental health, and I'm doing it for a lifestyle change. Because if I do it for vanity purposes, I'm not gonna stick with it, and I know that about myself. So I'm curious to see, once this journey really starts to continue on, how much of those things on that list are going to fix themselves. After I did that, it kind of drained me, and I felt like I needed to make something to eat, and I had a really big realization. I feel like this is gonna be really hard for me to talk about. I felt like I just needed a break because, you know, writing down every single thing that you don't like about your life, I feel like can be mentally draining. And so I thought like, okay, let me go, you know, make myself something to eat. Maybe that'll help give me some energy back. And I think since I've moved out on my own, into my own apartment, I had this thing where I had so much resistance towards making myself anything to eat or using the food that I purchased. So I sat down and I got my journal out and I wrote down, why am I having so much resistance towards making myself anything to eat, or even just eating in general, for the past 2.5 years. And I had realized that it was because growing up, food was only for survival, and I didn't know where my next meal was gonna come from. So I felt like I didn't deserve to eat or nourish my body. It was mostly just for me to feel like I could get through the day and survive. And I thought that that was basically just because I had such self-image issues and I didn't want to gain so much weight. But I'm kind of realizing now that it's a lot more than just self-image issues. So I made myself something to eat, but I was shaking the entire time because I felt like I was wasting the ingredients that I had purchased, because, you know, I had something to eat this morning and I didn't deserve to have a second meal, whether I was hungry or tired or not. And I would rather let the ingredients that I purchased go to waste than to feed myself. And food has always, again, been for survival. It hasn't been to make sure I'm fully nourished and had energy for the day and had the privilege of thinking about nutrition and enough protein and carbs and fats and things throughout the day. So I've been so used to eating one meal a day. Hopefully me realizing that is gonna help me be a lot more mindful about why I have so much resistance towards food and eating, and I can work on changing that mindset behind it. But I didn't realize how deep it was, and I guess the full scope of it until just now. After I had that realization as to why food and the refrigerator was a trigger for me, I really had to sit down and process those emotions, because one thing that I've learned is that stuffing them in a box is not going to make them go away. You have to allow your body to feel them. I also validated those emotions, and I told myself that I am safe. I don't have to worry about that thing anymore, and I'm not in a place where I'll ever have to worry about that again. Since then, I've been able to bring myself to eat 2 to 3 meals a day. I've been cooking a lot more, and I've been able to look at recipes without having resistance. And I think I'm really starting to enjoy learning how to cook. To some people, this step may seem small, but to me, it's huge in more ways than one. It shows me that there is hope, and that I'm not broken, and that I am able to heal and work through those triggers and all of my traumas. And also, it shows that I don't have to live the way that I was living anymore, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. That's all I have for today's video. I really want you guys to leave a comment down below and let me know how you guys process your triggers and how you figured out that that was the best way for you. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.